Local legends.
Sensational for us. Yeah.
It was amazing. But once again, it just shows you if you can stay in the contest and try and keep creating those opportunities. And a lot of times the games turn because pressure does funny things to people, and we saw that evidently there.
Did you do anything different on your trips away this year, considering
No,
it was a successful season?
No, I don't think so. I think we just
Apart
had
from a 2-day holiday in WA.
Yeah. There was a bit of paddle getting played on the last couple of days there, that's for sure. But like I said, it probably goes back to that point that we're probably a little bit more flexible with our team makeup and being able to play Scotty, in different roles and having Keza be able to bat five and be able to play Popey or push Benny up the order or down the order. It just gave us that flexibility in team selection, and we just probably backed that a little bit more. If we needed the extra batter, we played the extra batter. So,
and trust the process.
Yeah, then just trusted the decisions that were made by Rhino and the selection committee, and backed in Mick Sweeney the best we could, and away we went, and that it just worked.
And then so we win the one-day final, which was fantastic, very enjoyable. As one of the diehards, it was great to win something. But then to enjoy that night, but then to go to Victoria, be set 300 to win, be in trouble, and you and Scotty have a huge partnership, to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
In a game which, we'd already got top spots, so theoretically didn't mean as much. But, fantastic still to win, and always good to beat bloody Victoria anyway. Mm-hmm. But, so how did you feel, huge by yourself and in that side of things too, Jake?
Yeah, I think, Rhino was pretty big leading into that game about, what's next to look forward to, what else can we achieve? Let's not rock up here in Victoria and, blame it on that we had a couple of big nights celebrating or, enjoying each other's company because we haven't won anything in a while. Let's drive for greater things and greater success. And, we probably actually started that game on day one and day 1.5 probably like a little bit sloppy and a little bit slow. And we probably ended up chasing a few more than we would have liked to.
Yep.
But, we found a way once again to fight back into the contest and find a way to produce a way to win. And, it was great. It was great for us and great for us as a team and great for Scotty as well to come in that way and play the way that he did on a wicket that was deteriorating a little bit. So, I think that's also one of the great things that's happened this year is we've seen a range of players chip in when they need to. And I think that's been shown in selections in this Aussie A Tour up to Darwin and a few other blokes going away on to Australia, and we got 3 or 4 blokes playing county cricket, and we got even McGurk's in America. So I think that's a real positive for us as a team.
Yeah, Wes got runs overnight, got 40 odd. And then come the Shield final, Jake. You were the only player from both sides in the first innings to really just relax and bat properly. That must have been a huge satisfying that you batted so well and something the old man didn't do, make 100 in a Shield final.
I'm sure you've let him know about that.
That's the one thing that I have on him at the moment. So
you would have been worried. You would have been worried if I hadn't said that, Jake. So how did you feel with that too, mate?
Yeah, obviously the first day and winning the toss was a big advantage in the game, and the momentum was, or the energy of the game was high, I would say.
Yes.
Everyone was up and about for the contest, and I feel like, as a older player, throughout the game, probably myself and Kez and obviously Doggett, as well. But I think you saw the older players probably just settle into the game and not take the emotion out of it a little bit
Yeah.
faster than the others.
Yep.
I think that was probably the key to it, and just probably being in those situations a few more times and seeing those high pressure games a couple more times. So I think that was it really. Um, you know, try and get to that level head and calm space that we've been playing in as fast as we could when everything was going at 100 miles an hour.
Were you surprised that the wicket did what it did on the first day of the final, considering the week before it was almost like batting on
On a road.
Payneham Road here?
Nah, not at all. I think we were always there were two different scenarios. Once again, we wanted the week before to be flat and have a good bat, and we'd sealed up top spot, and we wanted to play Popey and see if it could spin. So that there was different outcomes for that,
Yeah.
and once again we picked the side for those reasons. And then the next week we knew that our strength was probably our fast bowling cartel, like we've said, and we wanted a result wicket with the point system being now in play.
Yes.
In Shield cricket, we wanted to play to win, and we didn't want to play to draw. We wanted to play to win and create the surface that we thought was best for us. And we thought leaving a little bit in it was the way forward.
Was part of the decision to to send him in and bat second was to know the equation in terms of, with the bonus points in the 100 overs, deciding it now, not like it used to be. Was that part of the thought process with sending him in?
Not entirely. I'm sure they would have thought about it. I haven't spoke to Nathan about that fully in depth, but yeah, I think with the bonus point system that there is a couple of issues with hosting it and making it super flat. If you bat first and you bat really well, but you only end up with X amount of bonus points and then bat them out of the game, and they can get past it by one run,
Yes.
then they get to draw the game. So
Yeah.
it probably does force the away team and Queensland in this scenario to maybe declare early if they did bat well as well. So
Yeah.
I guess it's probably more advantage to bat second. But like I said, I think it was more the fact that we backed our quicks in and our bowling cartel that had done the job for us all year, and the surface did have that little bit of like green tackiness to it that it can have there on day one morning, and then obviously it flattened out like we've seen a lot of the times there as well.
Was there a small part of you that was disappointed that you didn't get a chance to play at Adelaide Oval?
Yeah, I think when it was announced, I think there was a lot of chatter about it and stuff like that, and a little bit upset. But once again, we're just pumped to be playing at home again in a Shield final, and that probably took over, and we just kind of got on with the job. And in the end, the crowd and the way and the people running on and the atmosphere on like day one and then throughout the game,
Oh, it's
and then
fantastic.
the
Made it
last
better.
day was just
Yeah.
actually made it really good, and it was really inclusive and inclusive of the crowd, inclusive of South Australia, and I actually think as an overall package, it probably ended up being a blessing in disguise and good for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as I'd spoken to you briefly, running into you, and that it was great in terms of Adelaide Oval because it's so big. You end up
get
sitting
lost.
in. Yeah, you wander around a little bit, but with Karen Rolton, you just kept running into people and there I am sitting with one of the other regulars, Chris, and I said, well, if you'd offered us 270 odd to chase on Karen Rolton before the game, considering we batted badly in the first innings of our own, I'll get a cough in front of me. And I go, apologies, Emma, except for Jake. It's Jake's mum sitting in front. And that sort of thing happened just consistently through the 4 days. And it was like the test match out the back, the social environment out the back, but it was in the game. And it was fantastic. And look, as a Shield diehard, someone who's there all the time, I just thought it really worked in the end. And look, too, Jake, it'd be silly to interview you and not mention Danny and Roxy. And Danny timed her arrival the game before superbly when you were on 98 to get there just before you got to the 100. But Jake's daughter, Roxy, she's hilarious. She walks up. There was one game I'm with Danny, and she walks up with a card at Adelaide Oval and puts it in the brick and said, "Just putting my card in to go watch Daddy play cricket." And you hadn't made any runs that day, and there you are with Danny and with Roxy afterwards, and just realising what's still important and all that side of things. And she's hilarious, and she captures the attention of everyone around her every game when she's there, mate.
Yeah, I think, family is probably one of the massive things that obviously happens to people as you get older and you start creating your own family. And it's awesome to have that support, and not only of my parents and probably Danny's parents now, and
yes,
Danny and Roxy herself, and it just becomes a good place to be and a good place to come home to.
Yeah, and so the Shield final, in terms of when Wildermouth played 2 great innings in the last minor round game to get Queensland into the final, then he batted beautifully. It's not someone, I think it's the first time someone said made hundreds against us twice, batting number 8 in successive innings. And geez, he batted well, a good partnership, sets us the tough total to chase. It suddenly became game on where it looked like we were cruising for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, that Queensland have been good, and they have a good team once again because they've Rhino's probably taken that mantra of scrap and compete right to the end. They're led by Marnus, who's the best of that. He's never dying wondering, and Wilderness played awesome. Clayton played awesome.
Yeah.
But there was there was pressure, and like you said, if we got to chase 270, you're taking it pretty much every time at Karen Rolton.
Yeah.
And the one good sign that I liked and was the amount of balls Steckity got to face. And I was like, if Steckity can face this amount of balls, then they're going to find it very tough.
Yeah.
And that probably was the message that we took in. We go, look, boys, like Steckity can get in behind it, everyone can get in behind it. Let's go. So
yep.
It was obviously nerve wracking and all of that
Bloody
kind of
oath
stuff.
It was.
But if you looked at the simple numbers, we were still clearly on top.
Are you a nervous watcher? Were you out the back? Just keeping.
He was next in for the most of it.
Well,
so
you needed to watch what was going on.
I'm not normally a nervous watcher. I normally can enjoy the cricket and just take it for what it is. And if I'm not out there, I'm not in really control of what's happening. So just disregard like that kind of fact. But yeah, I said to someone, I said to multiple people, that was probably the worst 2 hours of my life, but also the best 2 hours of my life. I just couldn't.
That's a good description.
I couldn't settle down. The rooms was nervous. Everyone was not allowed, not
allowed to move. Yep.
Yeah, but they were also like banting and they were nervous twitches, and I was trying to say, right, everyone just calm down a bit, or and every runner was just like getting closer and closer, and it was interesting to be in, and it was once again really hard to regulate your emotions until it was done. But yeah, I was very nervous, that's for sure.
But what a partnership, sang about it beautiful, and Kez just continued on, and average 88, I think it was for the year. He was Bradman-like effectively for South Australia this year, and that he always wanted to play. Just incredible attitude, and that really, was a massive part of us winning the Shield, mate.
Yeah, I think a lot of credit has to go to Kez.
Yes.
He actually played more games than people think this year, and every time he played for us, he rocked up. He also had 400s for the year in about 6 games, I think it was.
And captained as well.
Yeah, and captained a couple of games, and his calmness and willingness to play and the ability to bat five and balance the team with him and Scotty at 5 and 6, and you can play the extra batter or whatever you want to do,
Yep.
you can do. So it does really make a difference. And he even said on the last day before we chased them down, he finished the team chat. I just remember him saying, like, boys, we've got nothing to fear here. We got nothing to worry about. Like we haven't won this, so just go out and enjoy it and relax and play the way we've been playing. Because if we don't win it, then it's all right. No one else has won it either, so we've actually got nothing to lose. And his just attitude and his calmness and the way he speaks about it is just second to none. And yeah, he was awesome all year.
Nathan McAndrew as well, leading the attack overall, and just he's lion-hearted. It's every single ball. He doesn't give up at any stage. And yeah, look, as someone who has watched all the time, it was just awesome, mate.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And the celebrations afterwards, we've better ask about that. We'll keep it PG, but the celebrations.
Give us the votes. Give us the 3 2
3 2 1.
Oh, I've heard that Bucky got the 3 votes. Yep.
It was good fun. I would say that, and I'm probably like more impressed with the way the South Australian public and like the pubs and that it engaged us, and the hospitality of the town and all that kind of stuff just made it so much fun and enjoyable that I didn't want it to end for sure. That
And the bit in town, the presentation, and as you said in another interview, Mally, I used to work for Mally, so obviously I know him pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
He loves his sporting attitude and that, and that was really enjoyable as well.
Yeah.
Did you boys get the keys to the city?
Oh no, I don't think so. But at least we've got a lot. Like I said, we got a lot of love. We got cricket back on the map. I think in South Australia, and hopefully we can continue that on.
A few more people at the home games.
I was reminding people at the final,
yes,
you can turn up at normal games. There was 123 of us against Tasmania on the last day.
Yep.
I did count in the lunch break, so I knew the number. So I just reminded a few people that you can come and watch any other normal game as well, not just the finals. So.
Mate,
yes.
Just before we wind things up, obviously you've played a little bit of Big Bash cricket for the Strikers in the Brisbane Heat. Just go through some of your experiences there.
Yeah, I love the Big Bash. I think it's a great competition. That's probably I don't know what the right word is, but given cricket another lease of life. I think T20 cricket, and whether you love it or hate it, I still love Test cricket. I think it's probably the pinnacle of cricket, but I also love T20 cricket and what it's done for the game, and the way that it engages families, and particularly like boys and women, and it's increased the population of cricket and keeping kids interested, and the spectacle of it is great if you take it for what it is, and don't try and compare it to Test cricket. I think that's what some people try and do. I've loved it. I love my time at the Strikers. That before this year, winning the Big Bash and BBO 7, I think it was the highlight of my cricketing career, and we had 45,000 there on a Friday. Then 2 days later, we had another 45,000 there on a Sunday. So we had 90,000 people at the ground over 2 days, and that was awesome. Then another little crack at Brisbane, and they were also an awesome franchise, and the way things are run up there are awesome as well. So it's a good competition. Hopefully, we can keep seeing some good overseas stars and come in, which we've seen already with a couple of signings and the draft just gone. The one thing I'd like to see probably back is more of the Aussies playing. Like I think the crowd would definitely roll in if you had Alex Carey and Travis Head playing Steve Smith and Mitchell Starc. regardless of whoever the overseas were. That would be my one tip for the BBL if they want to listen to that. But it's good.
Well, Kez did play a couple of games there as well. It wasn't only the Shield; he did make himself available there as well for the Strikers.
Mate, a couple of last questions for you. What are you doing in the off season?
I've actually just been doing a little bit of relief teaching work and with PAC and Pulteney, and that's been good fun. And we're just getting back into cricket now. And then my second kid's due in about 6 weeks. So
I did think it was pretty close.
Yeah, I'll be hands on there for a couple of weeks, and we'll be back into it.
Mate, and we always finish off with all our guests. We like to talk about some of the hardest players you've played against and some of the best players you've played with. Over your journey.
Best player, best batsman or best bowler you've ever batted against. Anything. Go whichever direction you want, mate.
I still feel like one of the best players I played with was Phil Hughes. I say it a lot. It probably doesn't get mentioned around enough, but like his ability to change games as an opening batter was just
couldn't agree more.
And momentum. I feel like not only a great bloke, but just a fantastic cricket player. And then probably, a bowler. I still have Paddy Cummins right up there. I remember we played him at the SCG, and before I knew it, the first ball was in my grill, and you probably just take it for granted how good those three fast bowlers in Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark are. I'll probably still have Paddy Cummins right up there as one of the best bowlers.
No, can't argue with that, mate.
No, definitely can't argue with that.
Hey, greatly appreciated, mate. As I said, awesome to win the Holy Grail, and look forward to catching up, mate.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, mate.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.